Welcome back to WCI-TV, sponsored by Tower MSA Partners. I'm Amy Sweezy, and my next guest is Dan Anders, who happens to be from Tower MSA Partners. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. We're so excited to be back here. We love this is the pinnacle of our year at being at this conference, and excited to once again sponsor WCI-TV and to be part of this conference and allow WCI-TV to really highlight all of the great activities, charitable activities that are going on, activities in the session rooms and meetings. It's just a phenomenal conference.
And I know you have sponsored WCI-TV before. Why is that so important?
It really allows us to, one, stand out, so to speak, here at the corner of the conference, but also to be able to allow you to really highlight what is so important to WCI and allow the attendees to see that in a different format, you might say.
There's a bit of a running theme for this year's interviews that we're doing on WCI-TV. Can you address that a little bit, talk about that?
Sure, we're doing Rockstar Careers, Finding Your Rhythm in Workers' Compensation, to kind of play off the Palooza theme that WCI has. And what we're doing is inviting folks in the industry to be able to come in and talk about kind of their unexpected, I think a lot of people, careers in workers' compensation, to talk about advice that they have for those that might be considering a career in workers' compensation or are already in a career in workers' compensation and want to know, well, how do I take things to the next level? So I think there's going to be a lot of kind of interesting stories and some tips and some other things that these interviews are going to bring out.
Well, speaking of interesting stories, can you share a little bit about how you got involved in this industry?
Sure, yeah. So I had a career initially in government and politics. I worked at the Illinois Attorney General's office as a public information officer, talking to the media on a regular basis. And I was going to law school that night, and then when I was getting to the end of that, the Attorney General decided to run for governor. He lost, so the end came to being involved in government and politics. So a colleague of mine reached out to me and said, hey, I'm at a law firm here in Chicago. I do work comp defense. Would you be interested in a position here? And I said, sure, I don't know anything about it, but yeah, I need a job. I'm getting out of school. So put my resume in there, interviewed, and got hired for a position and at the firm, and that began my 23-year journey in workers' compensation.
So now that you've done it for a while, what would your advice be to someone else who is contemplating a career in workers' comp?
Well, maybe think about it a little bit more before you jump into it. Maybe do an internship or clerkship before you actually do that. But taking from the context of kind of a legal career in workers' compensation, what I'd say is, and there's two sides to it. You have the plaintiff attorneys, petitioners attorneys who represent the injured workers. So, that is more direct involvement in taking someone through, what a lot of people, it's a terrible time in their lives at being injured. So I think someone who is open to that and being helpful and representing someone like that, great career for them. Mine was defense side, so you don't have as much direct interaction with that injured worker, but you're able to work with the claims professionals, many at this conference here, at being a problem solver and a consultant and working with them to resolve their claims. You also have some litigation and settlement negotiations that go into things. So you get a lot of different involvement when you have a work comp career, and I've certainly seen that over the time that I've been doing it.
And obviously, you've come into contact with so many different people throughout your career, I'm sure. Can you go back in your memory, and is there one person in particular who really helped impact your career?
Sure. Well, I should start with my wife and thanking her for supporting my career.
Good idea.
Over these past 20 years. And also, more specifically in what I do as Medicare secondary payer compliance. I had, when I started at that firm in Chicago, those many years ago now, the first day I was there, I hadn't even passed the bar yet, but Paul Wiedner, who was the managing partner for the firm, put this folder on my desk. It had to do with Medicare set-asides, and it was even more confusing than workers' compensation. And he said, well, you're going to be doing this for us going forward. So that's how I got my start in doing all of this. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. I'd say it's a blessing. But he was a great mentor to me during my time that I was there, as well as many of the other attorneys were at the firm. And I should add that more recently, now Tower's retired CEO, Rita Wilson, was a great mentor to me over the past 7, 8, 9 years that I've been there, and really just exemplifying how a Medicare compliance company can provide exceptional level of customer service, have a top-level technology platform that really allows our team to work more productively and to make the lives of our client partners easier. So, that's, and like I said, I've been blessed to have many mentors over my life that have helped me along.
Well, we're so glad you're here. We appreciate very much that you are a sponsor of WCI-TV. So, Dan Anders, Tower MSA Partners, thank you for being here, and thank you for sponsoring our WCI-TV.
Thanks, Amy.